that update, Brianna. Well, today the Oregon football team held their annual spring game at Autzen Stadium. And that's where we find our sports reporter, Erin Slinde. Erin, Brianna said there wasn't too much rain inside Autzen Stadium today, right?
Well, Juliette, as you know, it never rains inside Autzen Stadium. There may have been a few sprinkles pregame, but the stands were absolutely filled with fans trying to get a glimpse to see what this new Oregon team has to offer to the Big Ten this coming season. We saw a lot of players take the field for the first time in an Oregon uniform, including a handful of quarterbacks like Dillon Gabriel, Dante Moore, and Luke Moga. Overall, a lot of good takeaways for the Ducks and some great memories to conclude the spring season.
Raining practices, being in the indoor, all things like that. It's just, a true blessing to, have the chance to play in my spring game out here in Autzen. And like I said, I always get told it never rains in Autzen. And today it was raining, but it cut out when we were in there. So, like I said, I'm just, blessed to be able to play, did good, throw the ball down the field, protected the football. Just had a really good time with the team and really, congratulate everybody for sure.
In the final play of the game, Moore took the ball all the way to the end zone as time expired, and he was pretty disappointed to find out in post-game interviews that his touchdown did not count in the stat book, but they did, of course, count it on social media. So fun to be back on the field. Ronald will have more on those quarterbacks that I said earlier coming up later in sports, but until then, reporting from Autzen Stadium, I'm Erin Slinde. Back to you at the desk, Juliette.
And now, KVAL Sports from the Three Rivers Casino Sports Desk.
What's up, Western Oregon? On Thursday, Dan Lanning flew all the way to Alabama to watch Bo Nix get picked 12th overall in the NFL draft. So that kind of marked the end of one era. Well, today, a new one started at the spring game. Two new quarterbacks, Dillon Gabriel out of Oklahoma, Dante Moore from UCLA, both making their Ducks debuts at this fine spring game. Took a little while, though, for both of them to find the rhythm. Defense dominated the first half. Another quarterback, Austin Novosad, trying to make a play, but he throws a pick to the true freshman from Southern California, Dakota Fields, making an impact early in his college career. Huge return there to set up the green team, and that sets up Jaden Lamar, the sophomore. Looks like he's been putting time in the weight room, mashing his way on 4th and goal for the game's first touchdown. It happened in the second quarter. The offense, more fireworks for sure in the second half than the first. Novosad hits up another true freshman, Jeremiah McClellan. He flipped from Ohio State. Dan Lanning really happy to have him, and that sets up a wide open hole for Jordan James to march right in. Gabriel also took a little while to get going. Here was one of his better plays, little flea flicker action in the spring game, throwing it to another transfer, Evan Stewart out of Texas A&M. And in these spring game environments, a lot of newcomers. You never know who's going to step up. This was one of the better plays. The Missouri Western transfer, Bryson Cobbins, going all the way, flipping the field for the long touchdown run. Team Green wins the day 28-23.
Certainly an awesome environment. It always is here at Autzen. I think our fans are unbelievable. I think there's an awesome concert going on out there right now. There was definitely some pieces of today that were a little bit sloppy and makes me wish we had some more practices, but also some points of improvement and things that we can go attack. I appreciate our guys' effort and the enthusiasm out there on the field. Certainly think we have great talent to be able to go out and compete, and excited to build from here.
Yeah, I came away very impressed by the young defensive line clamping down some of that run game. But let's jump right back to the NFL draft right now, and the Ducks involved in that. Somehow, Nix's go-to target, Troy Franklin, did not hear his name called in the first 3 rounds. His wait finally ends in round 4. And guess what? He'll get to keep catching passes from Bo Nix as the Broncos also pick him. I used to cover a guy named Amon-Ra St. Brown back at USC. I was absolutely befuddled when he didn't get picked until round 4. Similar vibes today, and Lanning feels the same way as he called the fall in the draft quite surprising. A little later in the round, Kyrie Jackson going to the Vikings at 108th overall. The former Alabama transfer picked off 3 passes in 2023. And then with the very next pick, the Falcons bringing in defensive lineman Brandon Dorlus over his 5-year career. The former former 3-star recruit from Florida, blossomed into an all-conference player and ultimately an NFL draft pick. So why not keep this Ducks train rolling? 2 picks later, safety Evan Williams going to another team wearing green and yellow, the Green Bay Packers. More from that franchise in a second. But first, towards the end of round 4, the exhilarating running back Bucky Irving fittingly gets selected by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was so fun to watch. And round 4 was a party for Oregon. Round 5, time to celebrate the Beavers. The speedy Oregon State receiver and return specialist Anthony Gould will be taking his talents to Indianapolis. Speaking of talent, Katan Oladapo brings more pain to offenses than Lego bricks left on a playroom floor. The Packers forming quite the intimidating secondary by drafting both him and Evan Williams today. In round 6, we had our final Duck or Beaver. Here is name called the speedy linebacker Jamal Hill, giving Oregon 8 total draft picks on this year. Good for 6th most out of any college program. The transfer portal kind of becoming its own sort of draft these days. Just a few hours ago, Beavers superstar running back Damian Martinez announced he'll join Mario Cristobal's squad by transferring to the Miami Hurricanes. We'll be right back with a look at your weather.